Hello, Green Spring. We're back in the studio, and Chandra is still with me. Chandra Kumar, Executive Director. And this is the call-in show. So if you have questions for Chandra, now is the time to call. And here's the number, 703-663-3333. So call in and ask whatever you wanted to know from Chandra. She's right here. And until the first call comes in, you get to talk.
I do. Well,
yeah,
thank you.
so I think you want to say something about the survey?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
So, just want to, first of all, say hello to everybody on Monday. Again, it's
yes,
gorgeous
hello.
Monday. Yes. And you can see all the construction that's happening. I think nobody can miss that, right?
That's right. And it's happening everywhere.
Everywhere.
You come onto campus,
Everywhere.
left, right.
Right, exactly.
Ooh.
So I was telling some of my executive directors, I was at an executive director meeting, that every community is having some form of construction.
Yes.
Green Spring is, 3 of our clubhouses is having major, Garden Ridge, Town Center, and Village Square with the front.
The portico.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and then inside we're working on the billiards area to give that a refresh.
Oh, that's right, yes. And then on the offices, that will be your offices.
Yes, exactly.
People have been moving out.
So they have moved, they will be moving into their new location, back to their old location, but with a new look.
Yes.
For
I think it's back for the religious.
Yes. Philanthropy will be there.
And philanthropy,
pastoral
for them it's
ministries.
new.
Yes, for them it's new.
Yeah, I was wondering about that actually, since we're talking about it.
Right.
Because I thought philanthropy needs to be somewhere where people can easily walk by and come in and stop by. Nobody finds that unless they really are determined. Right?
So we were trying to find some place because we needed that front space for administration and finance, because they do actually get the most amount of walk-ins as finance.
Oh, really?
And us. And so trying to balance the areas where we can put someone where they still have access.
Yeah.
That was the only real location we could find, because it is still easily accessible.
Yeah, it's not far from the elevator.
Exactly, where you don't have to try and maneuver through all of the buildings to find it. So unfortunately, not always are they the ideal location. And once some of the dust settles, then we'll reevaluate.
Okay.
Is that the place to have philanthropy? But we did discuss with Kimberly, and she said, Chandra, we will be okay.
Yeah.
Because we still, we do what we need to do to get in touch with people.
People may get more cookies out of this.
Yeah,
they'll entice us somehow.
They'll entice us, but we're working on the porticos in the front of Village Square, which really needed that work, and then also for Hunter's Crossing. And it's interesting because some of this that the council and the residents had given recommendations to the council, and the council put it together for the list for next year. And we said, wait, we're gonna get these done this year. If we can get it done, we're gonna get as much done this year on the list as we can. So we try, whenever we hear what we can do with our balancing of all the different projects and still running the day-to-day business operations, wanted to make sure that we got those things done, because we want to always look good. We're
well, and at some point it also is a danger.
Yes. Well,
it
wasn't unsafe, but it was
not yet.
It was
That's
just the coloring and the way that it looked.
And you don't want to get it to
no,
where
absolutely.
It's unsafe.
We would never want it to be unsafe, but lots of projects going on.
Yeah.
We're excited about the Treasure Trust grand opening on the 22nd. This has been, for me personally, been really exciting, because we've worked so closely with the Treasure Chest team, that residents, wanting to make it look like a store. So it's going to be completely different than what you're used to seeing, and I'm so excited to have a storefront.
I can't wait for it to open, because we have a call.
Oh,
I will tell you later what I can't wait for. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My problem might be a minor one, but on Saturday I was looking for a grocery cart. I went down to Maple Creek. They had none.
Okay.
I went over to Village Square. They had one with a broken wheel. I went to Hunter's Crossing. They had none. So I couldn't find a cart, and I know it's been a problem. But on Sunday, I was walking to my car, and I passed by Pastoral Ministries, and inside a big empty room were 2 empty carts behind locked doors. And I could have cried, but you can't get to them. What can we do about the situation?
So I think what I need to do is make sure that I send out an email to the staff that the carts get used. They need to go back to where they belong.
Yeah.
And the fact that if there's something that needs to be repaired, we do have a company that we contract with to fix the wheels on those carts because they go through a lot of wear and tear.
I bet. Mm-hmm.
Is to go, and I know that Lynn and I spoke a couple weeks ago before I went on vacation to have them all reassessed and to make sure they have the right wheels. Because it may seem like a small thing or a small detail, but it has an impact on the residents' ability to get their groceries or their items from their car to their apartment. So it's important to follow up.
It is a detail, but that's often where something bigger gets stuck.
Exactly. And as a community, we have so many large projects. But again, as I've said to residents, we still have to run the community.
That's right.
There's still the day-to-day of feeding 2,000 people, 1,100 employees, making sure that they get their paychecks on time and that they're taken care of. So
that's right.
There's two
that
parts to our job
somewhere.
Yes.
All the details. Yeah.
All the details. And so we just, really ask for patience to get through. But this is something that's very easily fixable.
Yeah.
It just needs to be awareness on our employees' parts. Also.
Yeah. That when they go into the weekend.
Right.
They
or
make
anytime. Bring it back. Those carts are important. And we also asked, since we're talking about carts, can we get our residents that have them in their apartments to please bring them back?
That's right. Everybody, staff and residents.
Sometimes
don't
people,
hoard them.
I didn't want to say that word, but since
you
said it, I'll say yes. Please don't hoard them. So, so lots going on. I'm excited. So it'll be 12 o'clock. On the 22nd, we're going to do the grand opening.
22nd of October. We're back talking about the treasure chest.
Treasure chest.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait to see it because, when you walk by, it looks so different from the old space. And there is more space behind that curve, behind the staircase. But, of course, you can't see it from outside. So
so there's lots of storage space there now. And so it's going to be one consolidated store with a nice kind of flow to it. And again, I love the fact that we were able to work with the Treasure Chest team of residents that volunteer. And I'm looking forward to seeing the mules out again.
That's right.
I missed that in Town Center. They'd sit around the table and have a cup of coffee.
On Mondays.
And I get to chat with them on Mondays. So.
And what we miss is that we can drop things off. I think most of us have little piles or bigger piles,
including myself,
somewhere. Then this is going to go as soon as the treasure chest is open. So
I was just telling Elke that we should. My kids, I was telling them that weekend that they should be pulling out all the things. I said, and this is for the treasure chest, and this is for the treasure chest. So I'll get a variety of different ages of things being donated. So. I'm excited about that. Just making sure that we're kind of moving through all of the processes.
Absolutely.
Cafe, when the cafe comes open, they've made a lot more progress in getting things done.
So that's fairly soon also?
Well, so we would like to get it opened up, but we want to have some time in making sure that the staff has time to orient this new space.
Yes.
Because the last thing we want to do is open up a beautiful space and then the staff doesn't know how to use it right. Because things have changed. So we want to make sure that they're oriented, they're comfortable, because we'll have some new menu items. Like, for example, there'll be pizza available, there'll be a pizza station, things like that we want them to be able to operationalize, we call it. So it'll be some training for them in that space. So even though it may be finished, we don't open it up right away till we get the staff knows how to use it. Good. So then the experience of the resident is positive. And so we may do phases where we'll open certain parts of it and then every week we'll open up another one. We're trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. So it's a good experience, because what we've learned from some of our other communities is if you just open it up, it's not always a good experience for the residents or the staff.
Right. Yeah. That's the last thing you want after all this time that we've been waiting.
Absolutely.
Finally it opens up and it's flumps.
So we had our team has been talking to some of the other communities and what are their best practices, what were the challenges they had when they opened up their cafe, and so we're using those learnings to enhance the experience for our residents.
But at least we're talking about that, so it's in the near future.
Yes, absolutely.
That's good. That's
near
good.
Future, yes. I'm hoping by the end of the month into the beginning of November. So we've got a couple more weeks. I'm keeping my fingers crossed there. So, lots of things going on. The library will, the library closes, and then we're going to be moving it to an apartment. So that way it'll be GT 114. So we wanted
And that is temporarily?
That is temporarily till the library's done. This way, residents had a library space. So we were trying to get together, and Ty did a really nice job of, meeting with the library committee and saying, hey, we're going to find you a space. So we have an apartment we're going to use as a temporary space for the library.
Good.
So,
good.
As we've done for the fitness center.
Yes.
We don't have a temporary space for the pool except for you have to go off campus, but we do have
and it's a very nice pool, I have to tell you.
It is.
So
we have a good number of people that are still going. We'll see how when it gets a little cold. I'm hoping people will still be able to enjoy it.
I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Because it's a really great pool once you get there.
Yes.
And it's wonderful because all you do is wave your Greenspring card.
Yes.
And poof, you're in.
Exactly.
Nice.
So the staff has worked really hard to make sure that those transitions, even though they can be painful or be cumbersome, that we're trying to make it as least cumbersome as possible.
Yeah.
So,
well, we all have to come with some degree of understanding that when things change and we have this commotion because of the construction, we look at that hopefully it'll be better afterwards and it will all be worth it.
Yeah,
and then we want to get as much as we can out of it while this is all a little uncomfortable. Right?
Exactly. So we do have also, the bank. You can see the layout of the bank going down the hallway is different.
Yeah, that is different. That opened last week, I think, when I walked by there to the medical center.
And then, we'll be able to then have the beauty shop open up. And the beauty shop now will have a massage area.
Ooh.
So we have a large massage table, electronic, which I was so excited because, it's not easy to flip over. I'm just speaking of experience. Once you've had a nice massage, you get too comfortable. You want a comfortable space. So we made sure that we had a nice, a massage table that was made for our resident population.
Really?
So
I have to go and look at
that. And being able to have that service, because that's been something people have been asking for.
Yeah.
So the other piece I really wanted to talk about is in your cubbies, you should have received an envelope that looks like this. And this is the Holleran survey. This is our annual resident satisfaction survey. And last year, we moved from number 15 in the company, because this survey is about Erickson communities, and we get stacked up
against
next to others. We moved from number 15 to number 5 in the company. And why is that significant for us? Because it gives us more of a voice at the table. I always say, do you ask the C student for their advice, or do you ask the B+A student for advice? And so what has happened is, with this transition and us doing so well, it's been a great, I think, boom for the entire company, because they're using the same, some of the same best practices that we've had at Greenspring.
Yeah, because you modeled them, so to speak, and they've been successful.
Yes, like the reservation system. Even the menu changes that are going on and through all of the Erickson has really been what we started here, which is the changes in menu. And so we're trying to figure out, how do we up it even more? Like, how do we increase our variety more? How do we take the time to make sure, and that's part of what the dining team has been doing with these focus groups.
Right.
So,
and that has to be an ongoing thing.
It has to be.
I remember,
you can't do a one and
15
done.
years back when I was new here, Greenspring was often the one that did a prototype on this, and the one that started this and that, and then other communities picked it up because it turned out to be successful here at Greenspring.
Exactly.
And I'm sure we want to get back to that position.
Absolutely.
And it means, I think, in my mind anyway, it means that we residents and staff have to work together well for that to happen, and that's what we want anyway.
Right. And I think, what we've, put out in notifications, a lot of times people read it and they're like, well, does a number 5 mean that you're perfect? No, it really doesn't. It's a 20-point scale, so it's 80 to 100. So are we perfect? No, we're not. We've got lots of work to do.
We know that.
We've got lots of work to do.
And we know we can all work on improvements.
Yes,
always,
exactly.
Yes.
But
now people also say, oh, they're not going to listen to this anyway. Right? We hear that.
The council and myself all read. All 270 plus 100 pages by 270 pages of comments.
Yeah.
The council leadership.
I would hope so. Yeah.
And my leadership.
Yeah.
We went through all of those.
Yeah, good.
And so that's why we consolidated and did a presentation
Right.
on what the major themes were, and that way we can focus on those areas. There's also the ability to do it online. You
Yeah.
can scan it and do it online if you don't want to do it on paper, and we'll make sure that Diane and then we'll do a nice job of making sure that this is on the scroll too.
Yeah, maybe
'cause it
put
has
the
a URL
website on
number.
the scroll, because I saw these little cards flying around the
Yeah.
dining areas. You know, make sure you take the survey, and there was no
Right.
web address on there, so that did not help.
So
Okay.
we have it till October the 18th. We're only at 50% participation right now.
All right.
I only have
so
50%
people,
participation from our
now is
residents.
the time.
We want to hear from you. This is really important. This gives us a voice at the table, and we ask that, as you said, it's a partnership between our residents and us together, because this is about Green Spring employees. It's about all of us. It's about the Marthas of the world. It's about every person that serves day in and day out.
Well,
so
and
please remember to look for
It's
this.
about all the residents who say, I wish they would blah, blah, blah,
Yes,
right? And we all have things that we know you
So
could
put them
do
in the
better.
comments. Absolutely,
So,
put them in the
you know,
comments.
this is the time to vote on that.
Or just
and to,
stop by our office and tell us.
Well,
that
there you
too.
go. You
That
have
too.
various options. And
The other thing, just before you cut that off, because
Yeah.
I know you've got to close out some things.
That's right.
If you don't have this, because some people threw it away,
Mm-hmm.
or they thought they didn't get it because it looks different. Last year it was just the paper
Right.
with a small envelope. Come by administration. We have them in the office. We can give you another copy.
And that was several weeks ago, so people may have put it in a
so
safe
if you
place.
can't find it, come by and get it. We have
Okay.
extra copies.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You got to say what you wanted
I
to
did.
say. All
I-
right. And we filled the time. Magic. We did it again, Chandra. Thank you so much for
Absolutely.
being here.
Thank you.